Welcome to this video where I'm going to take a few minutes, just a few minutes, and explain 3D printers and how they work. So what is a 3D printer? Well, a 3D printer is something that usually prints something in 3 dimensions. I know it's relatively self-explanatory, but how does it work, right? So what happens is it takes a physical solid structure, usually plastic, which is what most commercial 3D printers use, though there are other applications as well. It takes that solid plastic element, which I have some of right here. It's called filament. It's a solid plastic, and it goes through what's called an extruder. You can't really see, it's hard to zoom in, but basically think of a hot glue gun. It works the same way. Instead of a solid stick of glue, it uses a solid stick of plastic. It heats it up so it's kind of tacky and semi-liquid. And then this smart machine right here lays it down in whatever pattern you'd want it in. You can program it to bake anything really that doesn't defy the laws of physics. Even things that look difficult to build, there are special options where you can add things called struts, which are additional pieces of filament that help support structures that may flop over on their own. So some of the things that we like to make here, one of the big things we make is our Cherry Hill logo. It's this one actually is quite large. Doesn't look that big. It's about the size of my palm, but it took about an hour and a half to print. So 3D printers are not entirely quick, but they are extremely useful for a lot of hobbyists, and they're exploding in the sciences. We've at Cherry Hill have had 3D printer for about 5 or 6 years now. We've gone through a couple different ones as we've tried to upgrade and get the newer technology in our building. But I've seen people printing things out of like concrete to make quick houses. They're starting to use it to print tissue. So for like organ donations, they can actually take cells from organs and recreate entire organs. You can print in metal. So eventually you'll probably fly in a 3D printed airplane someday. So it's a relatively simple process. And I'll tell you a little bit right now about designing aspects. So what we here at the Cherry Hill Public Library use is something called Tinkercad. It is a free online cloud-based designing kit that lets you make basic 3D structures. So if you're looking to make something simple, that is a really good place to start to kind of get your hands in it, to learn how shapes kind of fit together, how you can sculpt small things. And then there are proprietary design things like SolidWorks or AutoCAD, which are extremely expensive but extremely powerful. And with all of these programs, you just export the file into a 3D printable file format. Just like if you were going to save a Word file as a docx, you would save this as an STL or an OBJ file. Those are automatically given to you when you go to export the file. So it's a really simple process. This was just going to be a quick, really slapdash introduction. But what's going to happen is after this, I have a couple videos of us actually printing these hearts. So I'm going to try and make some time-lapse videos, post those at the end of this so you have something kind of to watch. Hopefully they'll be fast enough so they'll be entertaining and not too boring to watch, because it is really making a heart shape over and over and over again. And it does that through a process called iterative printing. So basically what it does is it starts with an empty board and then it prints it in layers. It's kind of hard to see. I'll hold it up to the camera, but you may be able to tell if I get it close enough how it's actually made up of individual layers. Again, it's a little tricky to tell, but there's hundreds of layers here. So it makes the same pattern a few hundred times to make an object. It also makes it quite strong. So it's not, they're relatively strong, so they can be used for a lot of different ideas. We have people who have made like chess pieces, D&D figures, coasters. I made a football goalpost for a project that I was working on here at the library a few years ago. The possibilities are pretty much endless. So it's a really cool thing that you can check out. Well, you can't check it out at the library, but you can come into the library and check it out once we're back open and allowing people in. How we used to. But right now, if you are interested in having something 3D printed, you can always contact us and we can work with you to get something printed for you. We're just not doing any live classes at the moment. But that will change as soon as, things return back to a state where that is safe again. So I'm going to cut off the end of my part of the video here. and we'll see you in a few seconds with some footage of it being printed. I hope you all have a lovely day. Stay safe and stay smart. I'll talk to y'all soon.